Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We are back here with 3 of our pregnant females. We actually have 5 pregnant females, but 3 of them are right in this shot. So we're back here with our 3 pregnant females because I wanted to talk about keeping track of your pregnant females today. Because what happens to people a lot of the time, and it shouldn't, but it does. So what happens is people breed their rabbit, they don't write down the date they bred their rabbit, so they can't do the math and do what I call lockdown for rabbits on day 28, and they end up having their babies in a spot you don't want them to have their babies in, and it can sometimes cost you the lives of the babies, especially if you raise your rabbits on wire. You don't want those babies born on wire because they could die. So you need to keep track. You absolutely have to keep track of when you bred your doe. It doesn't matter why you're breeding. It doesn't matter why Gwen is here. But you have to keep track. Hi, Gwen. Hi, sweetie. I love you too. But you have to keep track of why you're breeding. It is of when you bred. It is vitally important. Good record keeping is essential and could save lives. Do not lose track. Write down the breeding date. I don't care where you write it down. You could write it down on the hutch cards you use. You could write it down in a logbook. You could make a note of it in your phone. Don't guess. You need to write down the date. Okay, so if you bred your rabbits on September 1st, you have to lock them down. Okay, do the rabbit version of lockdown on the 28th. You can't do it later than that because you run the risk of having babies born where you don't want them born. So, how do I keep track? Okay, I'll show you. I have, forgive me, I have a logbook. I have actually a logbook I created because I couldn't find a logbook that had what I wanted it to have. So, this logbook is this, and it has a section specifically for breeding rabbits. Now, this is from a couple years ago, this logbook. My current logbook is currently in the baby barn because it has a whole bunch of stuff written in it. So this is the one that I just grabbed off the shelf. This is from a couple years ago now. And here comes Bowser, because you always need cats. But yes, so I keep track by writing it here in this logbook, and then I put it in my phone's calendar. It's really, really important to make sure you keep track of that. You do not want to lose track. You might miss the kindling date. Okay, we don't want to miss that kindling date. It is very, very important. Yes, I will provide a link to this logbook if you are looking to get one like it. I will provide a link to that, but I don't care how you keep track. Just make sure you keep track. Now there's only 2 of our pregnant girls back here. There were 3. Now there's only 2. I went away, I came back, there's only 2 left. So, okay, fine, doesn't matter. But do not miss that date. You need to write it down. I cannot stress that enough. If you have hutch cards, write it down on the hutch card so you know on the 28th you need to provide a nest box, an appropriate nest box so your babies are okay. If you keep them in colony setting like we do, we write it down and I program it all in my phone with exactly who needs to go into lockdown and on what day, because they get removed from the colony and they have their own little area set up, usually in the baby barn. If it's chillier weather and if it's really nice weather, we just do a pen like this pen here we might do. Right? Like, we're not because it's chilly. It's going to be chilly this time of year, so we're going to move them into the baby barn where there's a heater. But either way, you have to keep track. Okay, keep track of the babies. When are they going to be born? When do you need to lock down? I'm going to keep saying it. So find a way that works for you. You can simply program it into your phone and put an alarm so that you remember to provide your girls with a nest box on the correct date. But if you don't, and especially if you keep your rabbits on wire, you could come out one morning and have a bunch of dead kits on the wire because you simply forgot the date. Okay, write it down. Keep it very, very clear. Make absolutely sure you don't miss that date because you don't want to have all that time, effort, and lives wasted. That is literally it for us here today at Andersen Acres. I just wanted to make sure you were keeping track of when you bred your does. We'll see you tomorrow.